Hi there, lovely people. Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. 3:10 a.m. here. It's kind of quiet and peaceful here. I will be doing a couple of videos, reviews, and perhaps I'll do a morning thoughts episode. I thought of it will be a bit on a serious side, nothing to do with fragrance, perhaps, but life. But hopefully, you're doing good and you are okay in your life, right? That's very important to be okay in life. So first fragrance I want to review. I don't know if there are many reviews out there. I haven't checked on YouTube, but today I have something very fantastic. I'm gonna do initial impression. I gave it one wearing, like a full wearing, and I'll give you update on whatever I got from it. And this is gonna be a fragrance from House of. There are a lot of names now. It's basically House of Paris Corner, the Middle Eastern house. I reviewed many from them, and this is called Frenetic Homme Intense. Okay, Frenetic Homme Intense. This is obviously a clone of Dior Homme Intense, which I'm gonna compare this to. And I feel these are just my sentiments. You can obviously feel differently. Let's say first thing, clone. You're not a big fan of it. Understood. Full respect. If you are not a fan of this house in particular, understood. If you are not a fan of fragrances, they are not beast mode. I understand, but let's see what you get. So before this, I reviewed one more from this line. I think there are three. I think there's perhaps a red tobacco or something clone, but I actually absolutely treasured this one called Frenetic Delicious. Yes, this is a clone of Fave Delicious by Creed, and I just absolutely love it. It's just so good. I'll do an updated top 10 best clones, which is coming up in few days. But that one is a champ. That one is a 10 out of 10. Beautiful smell, longevity is great. But when you talk about Dior Homme Intense, let's start here. I got this from Bangladesh. I got from Arabian Shelf House. It is owned by Nadir Bhai. You can knock him anytime. He has all these lines. He is one of the authorized distributor of this house, Paris Corner. They have many fragrances. I reviewed many, purchased many. Excellent service, very prompt, excellent human being. Thank you so much, Nadir Bhai, for that gem. So you guys know this is my signature scent. If you follow me for some time, I assume if you know me, you know Dior Homme Intense is where my journey started. I fell head over heels over this perfume. I reviewed this so many times from Genting Highlands in Malaysia. I reviewed this several times. This made my number one so many times. It's just my signature scent. This just sentiment wise, this is the best, one of the best fragrances I ever bought. Never gets me bored. Warm, sweet, lavenderish, chocolatey. Then the powdery iris. It's a masterpiece. So Dior Homme Intense so far, it's a designer perfume. Let me tell you the price for that one. It's, I think, going at this moment $120 for 100 ml. The price have gone up in Bangladesh, I think, because of the charge and all that. But it used to be like $100, right? So it's not a cheap fragrance. One of the top fragrances in the game, one of the best houses in designer, but not cheap. So when you actually, just let me give you like a start where you can compare this, like a sort of like a scenario. Let's say Frenetic Delicious is a clone of Fave Delicious. Fave Delicious is a niche line of Dior fragrance. Easily cost over like so much money, like 200, 300 upwards, and when you buy a clone like this under $20, you already know like what you're gonna pay is like much less than what you are supposed to pay for the original. But when you talk about designers, and the game changes a little bit, so the price bracket sort of like narrows down a little bit. But still, if you call this Frenetic line, it's $20. Dior Homme Intense is $120, so there's $100 difference. So when you buy a clone, always remember one thing: the original is always original. Sometimes you can get satisfaction in your heart that I paid so much less. I got a taste of, let's say, Aventus by buying a pseudonym. But when you actually see why, sometimes the arguments can be different. Let's say Aventus versus pseudonym. Aventus is way too overpriced. Some people will say that. So the quality difference between versus the price paid not justified. But these cases, you can actually see how practical these are. So always remember, clones, do not expect the most natural ingredients. Don't expect the exact same smell. There'll always be negative downside. There'll be always good side. So you have to make your decisions. Okay, this is about decisions. So here you go, 100 ml. This is, I think, EDP concentration, and they sort of borrowed the look, of Dior Homme Intense somewhat, but it's a tall box. It says Emir line. Okay, Paris Corner Emir line. Back they got the holographic. I don't want to spend so much time on these, but just showing you the box. These are not going to be fake because these are already clones. And the bottle basically features the same like the previous one. Like if you saw the Delicious one, this is like this, juice colored. They maintain it, kind of gave that a fade from bottom to up. Looks like Dior Homme Intense. Juice color is mild, I would say, I don't know, dark. And there's a sticker right in front, or I think this is printed. Okay, really nice. Looks like that. It's a plastic cap. It's a humble magnetic cap, but doesn't have any strength. I'll show you what I mean. Let's say never ever pick up this bottle by this cap. When you try to do it, the cap comes off, the bottle remains. The reason being, the bottle is way heavier compared to the magnet of the cap, or the cap is not as heavy. So the magnet is not strong enough. It's a magnetic, semi-magnetic. You can tell yourself that, okay? Base looks like that. And when you take it off, let me show you the sprayer. And the sprayer also has, I think it says Paris Corner, the house name. The distribution is very good. Really, really nice distribution. If you talk about it, they improved this atomizer, but the cap, maybe the magnet could have been stronger. So I can smell the top note, and I already have it pre-sprayed on the paper. I wore this. Let me talk about longevity. Some people are waiting. Some of my friends and brothers are waiting for the most important part in Bangladesh, is that how's the performance on this? So when you see the price, for that price, if this fragrance lasted like 1 hour on me, I would not be complaining. I have so many gems from this house. I just find they improve so much upon, So one thing is they improve the smell, less alcoholic, and then less synthetic and more fun. Also, they improve their performance. Okay, so for this performance, I got 6 hours on my skin, but does the fur dry down? Overall, how long can you smell it? Like how long it projects? About 2 hours on me. Perhaps I stayed indoors today. It was very hot outside, but I stayed in the AC room. I was watching the game. Or I'm wearing the shirt because today we won against South Africa. Big game after 17 years, historic win in ODI if you follow cricket. I'm holding my excitement, but this perfume, like whole game, I enjoyed it, and I think fantastic longevity for the price. Even if you get 3 to 4 hours on you, I think this is fantastic. On the shirt, it will hold on much longer, and sweeter fragrances tend to last longer. So performance, absolute. I would say for the price is beast. If you're expecting 10 hours, man, like you gotta lower your expectations. So now, second important thing, how close is this to the original? I don't remember if I did Pandora Sense one clone of. I remember I did doing Dolce & Gabbana the once clone, but did I do Dior Homme Intense Clone? I don't remember. I think perhaps that was good also, but this is miles better, way better. So when I smell this, I don't need to smell Dior Homme Intense. I know that for 6-7 years, so it's like in my DNA. So I don't have to test Dior Homme Intense. This one, I'll tell you what happens with this. This is not exactly the opening of Dior Homme Intense. It has a lot of elements of Dior Homme Intense, but it, to my nose, it's kind of like a citrusy, sweet opening. You get that gourmandy touch. There is a little bit of lavender, but it's not as powdery lavender as Dior Homme Intense. Dior Homme Intense comes with you so much more gorgeous. I would say 70% of the opening of Dior Homme Intense, which I love a lot. So you might think, oh, that's not a good clone already. No, I don't think so. That would be a wrong statement. I think it's still a good clone because on dry down, it starts smelling a lot like Dior Homme Intense, but much lighter and much less chocolatey. And there's iris, I don't detect that much, but there's a chocolatey note they put. And side by side, there's a salty caramel, kind of like cacao powder, that sort of feel. So it does give that warmth of Dior Homme Intense, but more wearable in summertime. It has kind of like a dry down that is warm, spicy, and still very nice, entertaining. People smell it, they will like it. So I would say overall, how much they could clone this, I would say like 85% of Dior Homme Intense, like on dry down. On the opening, I would say 70%. So it's up for debate, if it's 100% not exactly clone, but that performance makes it really good. I mean, a contender to purchase. And another thing, just remember one thing, if you wanted Dior Homme Intense, if you really love it that much, perhaps you can save up and buy that bottle. But if like $120 is a lot for you, which is normal, like $120 is not everybody's budget. So you're looking for a substitute. Either you get a Decant to get the taste of the real thing, which is always a real fragrance would do. But if you're a practical person, why people buy clones? Why people buy something that is inspired by some expensive fragrances? The reason being, you want more practical. You want 100 ml juice. You don't want 5 to 10 ml juice, which will not last you. But if you want like a real taste of the thing, I would say the new Dior Homme Intense is nice, but if you can get 2014, these bottles, I have a couple of bottles, about 50 ml in total. Those are the real, like jack of all trades or something like that. One perfume does everything. But coming to this, those who want to buy it, should you look at it? Definitely. This is one of the best, closest to Dior Homme Intense. I just absolutely love it. Just go heavy on the sprayer. Perhaps do double shots. It will make a little bit more, but there's a citrusy orangey element, which is giving that freshness, okay? Like a carrot vibe, which funnily enough, I saw in a review long time back. Think what's his name? the Indian guy, he used to live in States, Fragboy Stewie, he used to date this woman. I don't want to talk about people's personal life, but I remember he had an ex. She said this smells like cooked carrots to her. Dior Homme Intense. Very interesting. And if you really think about it, Dior Homme Intense does have that cooking vibe going. So Dior Homme Intense is always captivating, always nice. I mean, there's like no comparison. I would, if it is up to me, if I had the money, I would buy 10 bottles of Dior Homme Intense. But why buy this? Why do these reviews? To help you, okay? If you feel you have a tester somewhere, there's no harm in trying. But if you actually spend $20 and you just feel I lost like lifetime worth of supplies, or my savings are gone, then perhaps you shouldn't be buying colognes. I will cover that today. That topic is in my head. Overall, good clone, and I would say 80-85% similar to Dior Homme Intense. It could captivate. That's my honest feeling. And I think on a fragrance on its own, with the citrusy, lighter vibe, with that cacao makeup box vibe, it smells really nice. It smells nice in the air. I think it will project, like continue to project for 1.5 hours at least. Yeah, I can smell it. It's like a more orangey version of Dior Homme Intense. Like, let's say Dior Homme Intense Cologne. If they made one, it's like this is what Dior Homme actually is, but much more potent than Dior Homme original. So this is somewhere between Dior Homme and Dior Homme Intense, the performance. So 5-6 hours, fantastic on the shirt. If you have a cotton shirt, it will last that 6-7 hours. Perfect weather to wear this nighttime. It's a nighttime fragrance, night outs, dating scenario, winter time, colder months. It will perhaps will surprise you. I don't know. Perhaps it will go 6-7 hours, 7 to 8 hours, but great fragrance release. So even though the opening is a little bit different and the bottle a little bit, the cap, it's not as good, but then looking at the price point, I'll give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. Check out this fragrance. I really liked it, and I think I'll continue to use it, and perhaps this will make my top 10 current clones. Thank you very much for watching. I think I'll do the second review. Have a nice day. Bye bye.